Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to another Fallout 4 mod review. Today we are checking out a brand new rifle mod, and that is the Modern Warfare AUG by Samus Aran. Now, I want to lead off by saying I really like this mod. I put a considerable amount of time into Modern Warfare 2019, and the AUG was definitely one of my favorite weapons to use, and to see that specific version of the AUG implemented into Fallout 4 is very pleasing to me. And it comes with a lot of the features that make that AUG so special. For starters, it's actually default chambered in a lower caliber round than you're used to seeing in the AUG. Typically, you'd see the AUG in something like 5.56, but the default version in this mod is actually in 10mm. I believe in Modern Warfare it was supposed to be 9mm, but given that we don't have a vanilla 9mm round, 10mm is just going to have to do without the creation of a new ammo type. And then, of course, you can go over to a weapons workbench and upgrade that to a 5.56 receiver to give you the traditional AUG experience that you're used to. This mod does come with a ton of really cool custom attachments featured in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, as well as some new attachments that are a bit more fitting to the Fallout universe, in my opinion. You also do get leveled list integration with this mod, which is a huge plus for me. I love finding these weapons out in the world. This AUG will actually start spawning in the world at level 28 on different gunners, raiders, and vendors, and will actually start spawning in the legendary pools at level 30, so you'll be able to find legendary variants of this weapon. Pretty interesting to see a weapon spawning like this pretty late in the game, so you will have this as something to look forward to as you're leveling your character. Of course, with a fancy weapon like this does come with custom animations, and they are very good ones at that. I'll go ahead and let those play for you now, as I think they are very high quality and they work really well on this weapon. Don't feel ultra tactical, but they just work and they fit, and I really like that. On top of custom reload animations, you also get a custom melee and custom grenade throw. And hey, while we have the weapon out, I want to talk really quick about firing sounds, because I really like the sound design of this mod. You do get different sounds depending on if it's semi-auto or full auto, as well as depending on the caliber that you're using. So right here we have the semi-automatic 10mm. I'll go ahead and let the audio play for you now so you can hear how well it sounds. And then here is the 10mm in full auto. Then we have the 5.56 in semi-auto, which sounds nice and beefy. And then the 5.56 in full auto. I just really appreciate when weapons have really nice sounds in Fallout 4. It just helps the mod feel complete, along with those custom animations, making a really nice complete package. Alright, now I suppose we should talk about stats. Once you've acquired this weapon out in the world, these are going to be the base stats as follows, keeping in mind that my character has no perks, so these are the raw stats of the weapon. This thing has a base damage of 27 in semi-automatic, it's shooting those 10mm rounds, has a fire rate of 55, a range of 191, an accuracy of 80, a weight of 7 pounds, and a value of 154 caps, all of which sounds pretty balanced given that, again, you're finding this thing after level 28. So that seems pretty fair. Now, let's go ahead and talk attachments for this weapon, as you can do a good bit with this thing. As you can see, you can customize it in many different ways, including different skins, which I really like customization options, so let's go ahead and check them out. And they have some pretty interesting perk requirements that I do want to point out as we get to them. Starting with receivers, we have the standard allotment that you're used to seeing with the standard receiver, light frame and heavy frame, the calibrated receiver, hardened receiver, automatic receiver, armor-piercing automatic receiver, the hair trigger receiver, the powerful receiver, the hardened automatic receiver, rapid automatic receiver, calibrated powerful receiver, hardened piercing automatic receiver, advanced receiver, and powerful automatic receiver. Now you'll notice that a lot of these are grayed out for me, and that is because on top of gun nut, in order to get the automatic receivers, you're going to need commando ranks, and for the semi-automatic receivers, you're going to need rifleman ranks, meaning you're actually going to have to level your character to use this weapon, which I really appreciate as a bit of a balancing act. Pretty cool. When we move on to barrels, we have your standard barrel, the 407mm extended barrel, the 407mm lightweight barrel, and the 622mm long barrel. For stocks, we have the standard stock, the Forge Tac CQB stock, the Marksman stock, which has a nice little strap and pad for you there, along with some little pockets, and the FSS Heavy Stock Pro, which has a bit of a recoil dampener, it looks like right there. For magazines, we have the standard magazine. This is going to be your regular 10mm 20 round mag. Then we have the 32 round extended mag for the 10mm. Then we can rechamber to 5.56 with 30 round magazines. And if you bring in the commando perk, you can get 5.56 with 60 round drum mags. Very cool. For sights, we have a lot of sight options, starting with the standard iron sights, the operator reflex sight, the Corp Combat hollow sight, the AIM-OP reflex sight, the GI mini reflex, the Scout Combat optic, the Solo Zero optics mini reflex, the VLK 3x optic, the Viper reflex sight, the PBX hollow 7, the Cronin LP945 mini reflex, the monocle reflex sight, the Mill Stop reflex, which is a mighty large reflex sight. I've not seen this one before. We have the Integral 3x optic, which is my favorite way to run this thing, the standard AUG sight. We have the Cronin C480 Pro optic, the Sniper scope, the Long Sniper scope, the Night Vision scope, and the Silix Hollow Scout, which is actually going to function like that of a recon sight in vanilla Fallout 4, along with that reticle that you're used to. Speaking of reticles, you can actually change the reticles if you have a reflex sight equipped. You have the standard green reticle. You can change it to blue, red, or yellow, which I like for customization's sake. Then for the laser options, we have no laser, a 1mW red laser, a 5mW green laser, and a tack laser, which is going to give you a better aim down sight speed and stability. Then for muzzles, we have the standard muzzle, the oil can suppressor, the CQB breacher device, the flash hider, tactical suppressor, compensator, the monolithic suppressor, muzzle brake, and the lightweight suppressor. And then finally, we have some color options. We have your standard olive drab AUG that you're used to. You have the tactical black coloring, tan, and white, which is pretty cool for an Institute type vibe. Alright, and with all of that out of the way, it is now time for our damage test. Today we are running 3 tests, all of which on our standard Deathclaw. The first test is going to be the basic version of the weapon with no attachments and no perks, just to see the raw stats when you first pick up this thing. Then we're going to have a fully upgraded full auto receiver and a fully upgraded semi-auto receiver to see how the time to kill differs between the two maxed out versions of the weapon. Starting on the left here, let's use our standard version of the AUG. Using those 10mm rounds, let's see how it does. And with roughly a mag and a half, that Deathclaw is down. Not too bad, given that this is going to be how you pick it up with no attachments, though again, spawning in at level 28, pretty balanced. Let's see how we do with a fully upgraded automatic receiver. And in much less than one magazine, that Deathclaw is down, though we do have some pretty hefty drum mags. So let's see how we do with the fully upgraded semi-auto receiver. This time we'll be counting shots. Let's see how we do. And in only 8 shots, that Deathclaw is down. If you can get those off rapidly and in an accurate manner, you could drop Deathclaws pretty quick, maybe even faster than the full auto version. Pretty cool. And I gotta say, I really like using this as sort of a DMR with the extended barrel, the long scope, and putting it in semi-automatic. Very fun, very cool, and I gotta say, I just love this weapon. So yeah, guys, that is the Modern Warfare AUG by Samus Aran. I must also say, this is Samus's first ever mod for Fallout 4, and it is incredibly done. So, huge props to Samus Aran. This is incredible work, and I really, really like it. So, I highly encourage you to go and try this out for yourself if you would like to. It will be linked down in the description below. And hey, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a rating, subscribe if you haven't already for more videos just like this, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace! And really quick, I'd like to make a shout out to all of our patrons. Your donations are greatly appreciated and really help to support the channel and videos just like this one. So again, thank you.